Thank you. So it's 6:01 on February 24th at 6 p.m. We're going to call the meeting to order. And if you'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Clerk, if you'll call the roll.
Smith.
Here.
Bender, absent. Arsano.
Here.
Burbank. Here. Bergerson. Here. Wolfvale.
Here.
Green.
Here. Motion to excuse Councilmember Bender.
Second.
There's been a motion and second to excuse Councilmember Bender. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Agenda modifications.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor to accept the agenda as presented?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Announcements, appointments, and presentations. I don't believe we have any this evening. So we will move on to public comment. So I will just read what I normally read at council meetings so that we're all on the same page related to public comment. Thank you, City Clerk. There are 2 times to speak at the podium for 3 minutes at the beginning of the council meeting and then also at the end. We ask that you use that 3 minutes to state your name, where you're from, either you live in the city or you don't. We don't have to provide your actual street address if you don't choose to. And then at that point in time, council will be listening to what you have to say. They'll be taking notes, but they will not be responding to you at that point in time. So if there is a question or comment that I feel is appropriate to direct to staff, we'll have them connect with you at a later point in the council meeting or at the end of the council meeting to follow up with you on any potential question or concern or comment that you have. So at this point in time, I'm going to start just down the list as people signed up. Mary Kay, Mike, you have a question mark here. Does that mean you want to speak or do not? Do not. Okay. Thank you. And then I'm going to move on to Jalen Johansson. Good evening, Jalen.
Hello, good evening. Jalen Johansson. Me and my wife own the well house on Main Street in Buckley, and I'm here speaking regards to the hometown market denial for the permit this year, which I think a lot of people behind me are probably here for the same reason. I just found out about this today. I am not a big, I guess I'm not a part of the organization of this. And so it came to a surprise because I was looking forward to this year. It was a great turnout last year. It helped us immensely starting a new business. Starting the well house was not something that I longed for as a business entrepreneur. It was something that there was a vacant spot in Buckley on Main Street, and I knew, we're trying to grow Main Street. We're trying to grow the town. We want people to come here. We want to give them options. So this is what I came up with: a organic cafe and sauna and cold plunge. It's not something that is very popular, but that's what we're doing. And it was us taking a chance on Buckley and giving them a place to go. And so when you see that something like this is doing so well, like it did last year, we had huge turnouts, and it helps us immensely on a Tuesday. That is typically a very slow day for us because it's our Monday, and bringing people from other communities coming to downtown for the, to come visit the street, it was a pretty big deal. And so I just feel like if we're investing in Buckley and Main Street, that Buckley should back us up and also invest in us and give us the opportunity to thrive as a business. And so, I know that there's some reasons in the denial that as far as access and the city's availability for the the road closures, which I'm sure we can work through that. Seems like there's some options there. So I'm just speaking on behalf of all of us that I think that we should negotiate through that and continue the hometown market, because it's a good thing and Buckley needs it and it's working out. It's doing really good for us. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next I have, looks like Megan Santman.
It's Sanford.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead when you're ready.
My name is Megan Sanford and I am a Buckley resident, but also own a business here locally in town. I wrote everything out so I would stay on task. So I wanted to write as a small business owner of the community, but also as just a member of the community. As a mobile boutique, the market helped us so much with not having a storefront. They are completely essential. This gave my business a place to connect with my customers, grow, and be seen. But what makes the market truly special goes beyond this. As a family, this became a part of our routine. We'd go to the skate park, we'd head downtown, we'd walk through the vendors, we'd grab food, grab some ice cream, and then hang out with some friends. It gave us a reason to be there, and it gave a reason for us to connect with our community. This experience is happening with so many other of our friends as well. Week after week, we saw the market bring people downtown, especially on nights that were going to be very quiet as he has mentioned. It would create a space where family and friends and neighbors gathered, supported local businesses, and spent the time together. Because of that, I believe location will truly matter. The success of this market depends on being on Main Street, where the natural flow between vendors and restaurants can actually happen. When everything is connected, people stay longer, explore more, and support more. Moving vendors to a side street will break that flow, reduce visibility, and make it harder for vendors and the downtown businesses to benefit in the same way. This market works beautifully because it brings people to downtown and keeps them engaged. Separating it from the core space will only weaken the very thing that makes it successful. At its core, this market will bring the community together, and it has proven to do so. It creates a space where people show up, connect, and support local in a meaningful way. I understand there are challenges to be considered, but I ask you to please look at the full picture here and what the market has truly provided. It is more than an event. It is something that has supported the local businesses, my business, and this depends for downtown. This market brought the community together. Thank you.
Next, we have Allie Santman.
Can I switch with Ashley? Can she take my time?
That's fine. Come on up, Ashley. That's fine. So then, did you want to speak later in the meeting, Allie?
She could just take on mine when you get to my name.
Okay.
We just thought we'd switch it up because I was going to read the reasons for the denial to kind of give everyone a background. So my name is Ashley Prevette. I spoke a couple weeks ago at the end of January. I'm the previous president of the Buckley Downtown
You could do me a
Association.
favor and speak this way and into the mic, then we'll
Yes.
get it for the recording.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, so I spoke previously, Ashley Prevette. I was the president of the Buckley Downtown Association. I addressed you guys with our annual report last month, kind of everything that the BDA had done previously. I'm going to read regarding the hometown market what our reasoning for denial was. So the email that we received says, the city has reviewed your special event application for the hometown market in 2026. Unfortunately, your permit application must be denied. Denial is based upon insufficient staffing, availability, and impacts to city meeting facilities as outlined in Buckley Municipal Code 6.50.140, 2 and 6. I'm available to discuss alternative locations and perhaps scheduling to accommodate your event. The north area on River Avenue near the Foothills Museum would likely be a more workable location. The current application requires staffing that we are unable to support. Both police and fire departments have expressed concerns related to their ability to respond to emergencies. Public Works is unable to consistently meet the road closure requirement. As you are aware, the city had to refund portions of your event permit 3 times last year because the city had insufficient staffing for the road closures you requested. The location and timing of your event also interferes with other city meetings. Tuesdays are city council meetings, and we anticipate additional attendance at city council meetings this year, on city services and budget discussions. Those budget discussions will include impacts to seniors and disabled. The street closures for this event impact ADA accessible parking and limit access to the public to these meetings. Please reach out with any questions. Sincerely, Chris. So anyway, I just wanted to read reasoning behind that, and then everyone will speak on all of those different reasons for you, and why we disagree with this decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, so then if I go back up, my next person would be Lorna. Ally, do you want to go before Lorna or? Okay,
Not my favorite thing to do. Lorna Anderson, longtime resident, and I own a business on Main Street here. And I think all of you know I'm always against you closing Main Street down. But I have sat on the BDA since the beginning, and I'm closed on Tuesdays. So I help set up the market and work the market. And it is such a positive thing. The families come out. There's not much for families to do in Buckley. We have a splash park set up. We have local entertainment, playing. We have games for the kids. We have food trucks. We have cornhole tournaments. We have Boots and Buckle doing line dancing. The families are really on board with coming down on Tuesday evening with their kids, letting the kids play, meeting with their friends. So I think, like everybody else is saying, if we move it to another location, it's going to die. The market is just going to go away. And the community, we also give nonprofits free booth space. We set up an awning for them, tables and chairs. The health department, the White River Families First Coalition, the Friends of the Library, they don't pay to have booths there. The food bank. So everybody has an opportunity to see the other things that Buckley does have to offer that they may not know anything about. So I would really hope the council and the city thinks twice about denying that permit. Thank you.
thank you. So it looks like the only other person I have to speak is either Ally or Mr. Hellinger. My apologies, from Wilkeson.
Hilding?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Amy Boucher is on Zoom. She would like to sit at the end of the meeting.
Sure. At the second time? Okay, thank you. I'll put her down. Go ahead.
My name is John Hilding, and I have a Buckley address that I would like to speak in favor of the Main Street presentation. That I started Wilkeson Days and the Handcart Championship in Wilkeson. Last year, 2025, was the 50th anniversary of the Wilkeson Days. Also, I'm a board member on the Foothills Museum, and our main display in the museum is Main Street Buckley. So I feel that Main Street and that street in that event is very important. Also, I consider myself from Wilkeson, and I've served on the city council there for 12 years and done different things that as a community member and on the Historical Society, we refer to it as a Carbon Canyon. So it includes, Wilkeson, South Prairie, Burnett, Fairfax, and Carbonado, that I see all of those communities as representative of how strong Buckley is part of this community. So think that it's real important to continue to support that Main Street event. Also, my real claim to fame is the Bacon and Egg Skate Park in Wilkeson. And the Bacon and Egg Skate Park, I was interviewed by a company out of Los Angeles, and they put it on Facebook. And I'll give you my business card, but I've had over 1 million views to the Bacon and Eggs Skate Park. So if you go to John Hilding Artist, just Google John Hilding Artist, and you'll see my skate park and all that it's done. So real strong member and supporting the Buckley's events and the Main Street event. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if you want to speak now, Ellie, that would be good.
Hello, Allie Sampman. I own Main Street Bistro here in Buckley. I just wanted to touch on a few of the things that were addressed in the email that was the denial. One is, well, one I want to say, a lot of you guys have been around, you've been to the market. A lot of times after council, you come out to the market and see what's going on, which we appreciate. It has grown every year. We've been doing it for 4 years now, I think, and it grows every year. It also exponentially grew when we put it on Main Street, because that's where a market like this belongs. We started out in Thunderbird and over, I think, on Cottage and River, and it doesn't work, and we won't do it if it's there. It's not, it won't work. So one of the things that was said is that it referenced having to refund some of our permits because of insufficient staffing. What happened was 50% of all of our fees were refunded last year because of multiple times that the roads didn't get closed on time. We had to call 911 one time to get, or for the car show, we had to call 911 to get them to help us close the road. There were multiple times where the roads just didn't get closed. It was a lack of communication, which multiple staff members told us, which resulted in 50% of all of our permit fees being reduced. We were never told it was a scheduling or a staffing issue. Also, our permit pays for the staff, so it's kind of confusing how that would work. Also mentioned was that police and fire have expressed concerns about being able to respond to an emergency. I've been here since COVID days. That's when we opened, right before COVID. When we were trying to all stay alive, we started weekends on Main. We've been closing down the road for 6 years now, and we've always had great working relationships with police and fire. We've never heard them talk about worrying about being able to respond to an incident. We also have an event coming up this year for Log Show where police all but demanded Main Street be closed. So I'm confused on how we can say we need it closed for Log Show. Main Street should be closed for safety, but we can't close it for the hometown market, which we've been doing for years. In addition to Wine Walk, Cornhole, Beer Crawl, all these things we have coming up. Talking about the parking, yes, a couple parking spots are lost when we close Main Street, but we have always worked with you guys to make things work. When the roads close, we actually can create more parking on Cottage either side if we need more ADA parking, if that's really an issue. But at no point, well, I'm sorry, at the end of the email, it said we can discuss it. The top of the email said your permit's denied, not we have some concerns, how can we work them out? Because we've always done that. We've always had a really good relationship with the city. We've appreciated council. You guys have always supported us. You guys live here. You guys frequent our businesses. I think you know how important it is to have a thriving downtown for all the people that live here. So we appreciate that. This year, we've just felt like we're kind of going backwards, where the great relationships that we've built between our organizations that support the businesses and the city are maybe going backwards. And we'd like to get back to the place where we all work together again.
Thank you, Ellie.
I guess Amy would like to go now.
Okay.
If you want to.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Amy. Thank you.
All right. My name is Amy Boucher-Kiss. I am not a Buckley resident, but I am a community member. And I was very heavily involved with, I was the executive director of the Buckley Downtown Association when we initially became an organization, and was in that position for a couple years. And then stepped down, was a board member. And then now I'm just a community member that's helping support these wonderful programs and events that the Downtown Association has been hosting for going on 5 years now. I want to give you some history about where the hometown market, where that vision came from, and give you a glimpse of what happens when people in the community come together and support and lift each other up. I remember sitting with Megan Rhodes at Anchor House, sharing this vision of like, okay, our mission and downtown, the Buckley Downtown Association is to make downtown a place that community gathers, businesses thrive, all while preserving history and culture. And being a person who comes with a heavy background in community development and connecting people to nature, and the work that I did prior, I seen that there was a need to create, like there was all these pop-up markets coming out of COVID. And it was like, yeah, great. We can have a market. I was working these markets, going to Ording and going to Enumclaw and going to Maple Valley, going to Auburn, talking to the different market coordinators, talking to different vendors, having like piles of business cards of small businesses in our area that really like depend and rely on these markets like these. But also it had to be something different. We knew we had to be something that was focused around community. And one of the Main Street programs marketing things is putting people in the center of our economic vitality. And that's what we did for this market. It was about getting a market, not creating a recess fair, but coming together with local businesses and community organizations and creating a space where people can come out with their families and friends and hopefully draw from even a larger crowd outside of those areas and within, our neighboring cities and towns. And so that vision like came about sitting at the tables at Anchor House with Megan, running through like backwards. What's the 10-year vision for this? What's the 5-year? What's the 3-year? What's the 1 year? And I remember so many people telling me that first year when I had it down at Tunes and Trails on summer of 2022, and them saying we had 5 vendors, and they were like, you know what, this isn't, a lot of people were, really nervous and didn't want us to do some things because they were afraid, well, it's going to make us look bad. But I just kept persevering and I kept pushing forward. The following year we had it because that was not successful. So we knew we needed to get closer downtown. So we moved to Cottage because there was so much opposition about Main Street being closed. And so the idea to having something on Main Street was like completely out of the question. So 2023, we moved it to Cottage, which was, it grew a little more. We got a little more vendors, but it definitely, there was a disconnect. And then
Amy, excuse me, I'm sorry, your 3 minutes are up. Can you wrap it up, please?
Yes. So 2023, we moved to Thunderbird Park. It was about the same. We got a little more visibility. And then the 4th year, which was last year, we were on Main Street. Our 2 years on Main Street, and every year it's grown. So I just want to leave the vision of like, we know it doesn't work going to Cottage. It doesn't work going to Thunderbird Park. And these are really simple solutions, considering that we've set up the road and we've got around these staffing issues. And I think that it's a really easy thing to work out, like just sitting down at the table and being like, okay, how can we address the staffing issue, and how can we address the parking for meetings? So this is a vision that if this is not allowed, like it's really concerning, like how
Amy,
we're able to work together. Thank you very much. Sorry about that.
We have to move on. Thank you so much for your comments. Okay, we're down to consent agenda.
You have no mayor's report. Okay. On tonight's consent agenda is final acceptance of the West Mason overlay project.
Move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye. Okay. Motion carries.
Okay, and clerk, if you would read the agenda item title. for the
First
regular
item
agenda.
is resolution number 26-03, ad hoc committee on fire services governance and consolidation review.
Move to approve resolution number 26-03, approving the formation of an ad hoc committee on fire service governance and consolidation options. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. I would like to note that City Administrator Banks is available to answer any questions. And then I would also note that Mr. Miller, Troy, if you would just kind of wave your hand, is here. He is one of those that is being requested to be appointed. And then also Karen Whiteco, which most of you know, is here as well. Mr. Whitmore said he was going to try and be here tonight, but I don't see him in the audience. Do we have any discussion on this item from council? Councilmember Smith.
Just a comment, when I received my packet Thursday, as we always do in reviewing this, I was amazed at how quick that this ad hoc committee was put together and how pleased I am with its contents. I know Corinne personally. Mr. Whitco used to be my neighbor next door. I've known him for a very long time, and the gentleman Mr. Miller,
Right.
his write-up is very informative. And I am very confident that this council can work with whatever recommendations they come up with. I'm very pleased with how this is put together.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment, question, concerns? Okay, if there's no more discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I
Motion
Opposed?
carries.
Okay. Let's move on to the next item.
The next item is a license use agreement extension between the city and the Army Corps for Eggland for construction staging.
Move to approve the license use agreement extension between the city and U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for the use of city egg land for construction staging for White River Dam project.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. City Administrator Banks is available to answer any questions, any discussion or concerns.
I will say real quickly, not to interrupt, but I apologize for not putting the full agreement in here, but it's like 65 pages long, the original agreement. And I wanted to save the paper. It's the same agreement. We're just extending it for a few months, so.
Anyone else? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a Murray's disposal rate adjustment to CPI change, disposal fee adjustments, and account for business and occupation tax increase.
Move to approve rate adjustment to account for CPI change, disposal fee adjustments, and business and occupation B&O tax increase.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Again, City Administrator Banks is here to answer any questions. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
I will say real quick, that Steve Hopkins is here from Murray's Disposal. If there are any questions, or Steve, if you want to get up and say anything, don't feel like you need to. I just wanted to give you the opportunity. Okay.
I do have a question. Is this for only in city limits or is it also outside city?
Yes, city limits of Buckley is this increase, and that's, the UTC raises rates in a different manner, but every city that we do have under contract is all adjusted in March.
Okay, so even if a person has a Buckley address, but they're not. within the
Outside,
city
yeah,
limits?
they still fall under the UTC, so that would fall under those guidelines, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then I do want to be clear, just in the interest of transparency, the CPI and landfill disposal increase are contract language, but the B&O, the 0.35% B&O increase is up for council. We're requesting that. That's something that can be denied. That is something that you guys could say no. So I'd be happy to explain a little bit more of what the B&O increase, what that is in dollar amounts. And kind of also in seeing the downtown association, this is something I just actually chatted with a young lady back there about. The B&O tax can actually go towards the downtown association or you connect and make sure that that goes that direction from us. We donate that over. So there'd be more to kind of talk to on that piece of it as well.
I think Administrator Banks, the question would be whether or not that would apply to a local B&O, which we do not have.
We do not have.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
We don't have a local B&O.
No, any B&O tax that is collected by you at this point goes to the
Yeah.
state.
Hey, I'll look into it. I still believe that I thought that I was able to get that through to the downtown association. So I will still research that and work with the downtown association, see if there's any way we can
I
divert some of
appreciate
that back
I
over.
think what you're referring to is a system similar to what is in the city of Puyallup. And their businesses there,
Mhm.
they have a local B&O and they can opt to give those dollars to the downtown association to beautify downtown.
And we do that in Sumner as well. Is that the
Yes.
same? Okay.
And because we don't have a local B&O, I don't think that applies, but yes, certainly.
Okay, we'll
get back
we'll
to
search
us.
through ways to still
Yeah.
partner up with the
We'd be
local.
happy to take your money.
If it does, will you please let us know your findings?
I will. We'll look into it
Okay.
and figure out exactly what our abilities are, and we'll figure out ways to partner up anyways.
Perfect.
Thank you. Any
Does-
questions? Okay. I think we're ready to vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, so we're down to staff reports, City Administrator Banks. I know you have a few items for council.
I do. First, the first thing I'd like to propose or ask is we're scheduled for a study session on March 3rd, which is next Tuesday. We don't have a lot of agenda items to talk about, but what I would like to do is propose moving the study session to March 17th. Because we need to do a final presentation on the SS4A study, which you guys have already had a study session about. But prior to presenting that at a study session, WSDOT wants the opportunity to comment on the draft study. And we would like to incorporate their comments into that study before presenting it to you. And they said that March 17th would give them enough time to give us their comments so that we could give you a proper presentation of that study, which is really slated for adoption by City Council on April 14th. So it's just buying more time to incorporate WSDOT's comments into that study. Or we can have both. We can have both March 3rd and March 17th. And in between have the March 10th council meeting and the March 24th council meeting.
I'll do whatever.
I can't make it to the 17th. So, because I didn't know we were switching it, so can't be there.
I literally just
Okay.
learned
I
of
won't be
this,
able to be
but
there,
okay.
but whatever you guys decide is fine.
I have no, either way, whatever's easier.
If we are going to move it, we do need a motion and second to reschedule that study session.
Well, St. Patrick's Day, so I'd rather, no other place I'd rather be on. Motion to change the Buckley City Council study session from the 3rd of March to the 17th of March.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we move the study session from the 3rd to the 17th of March. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The second thing is, the Public Works Department received notification that the Vector truck that we ordered almost a year ago will be ready for delivery in mid-March. We've learned that we can apply for some federal or local Pierce County Flood Control Zone District money that we potentially could apply to that purchase of $160,000. So we're applying for that money now. The city attorney is working on the e-motorbike ordinance. I am hoping to have that wrapped up and done and presented to you guys on the March 10th council meeting. And then lastly, the city staff's actively working on multiple code enforcement cases around town. More specifically at the corner of 410 and Park, and then Park and Norma. So we are actively working on those as well as others. And that's it.
Okay. Questions, comments from council? Okay. We have one more round of public comments. So even if you didn't sign up, that's perfectly fine. If you would like to come up and testify for the 3 minutes, you're welcome to do so now. Just come on up.
Everyone speak again?
No.
You may not. But thank you for asking, Lorna. I would still know it was you. Come on up, Councilmember Morel. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you again, Dave Morel, Pierce County Council member. I just wanted to do a courtesy round and there again, want to say congratulations to Mayor Carolyn Harding. Robertson Harding, okay. Got to get my eyes focused in here. But one of the courtesies that I wanted to make the council aware is next Tuesday, the council will be voting on a public safety sales tax, which is a 0.1% increase in the sales tax. And that will be universal across all of Pierce County. So that is based on House Bill 2015. And the executive has sent his proposal down, and we will vote on that. Some cities have already passed a public safety tax, and this is a stackable tax. So in the case of Tacoma, which passed one last year, they will get 0.2% increase in their sales tax. So if a jurisdiction, a city wants to apply for the public safety tax, the same thing. You have the ability to do that, but there again, it'll be on top of what the county decides to do. So just making you aware of that, because I know Buckley, I don't know if you have any businesses that are really sales tax sensitive, like Puyallup and Sumner with car dealers. The other issue that I did want to bring up was the Opportunity Fund from the Flood Control District, something we're trying to get out to all the jurisdictions, whether it be Carbonado, Wilkeson, Buckley, in Bonnie Lake. Every jurisdiction, every city gets a minimum of $50,000 a year that can be used for very creative water-related issues. Wilkeson is going to use theirs to deal with their sewer treatment plant. And the Vector truck has been used before by other jurisdictions. So if you need those funds, and they accumulate every year, so that's $50,000 a year that you get. So Wilkeson is also using it to vac out their storm drains. They contract out, so they're going to be doing that, in Carbonado the same way. So those are two things that I just wanted to bring forward. One of the challenges on why we're even looking at the public safety tax is a lot of state mandates have come down to our jurisdiction, and I assume maybe some of yours. Biggest one is public defenders. Supreme Court ruled that we had to maintain a certain ratio of public defenders, and we had to go out and hire 9 this year. I think we're going to have to hire 12 more next year. And the other issue that we have is we have a very aging infrastructure. Our old jail is going on 40 years old. We have several lawsuits that are pending for plumbing issues within that jail, and it needs to be replaced. And we do not have a capital fund. And then the same thing with Raymond Hall. Raymond Hall has to be replaced, and we do not have the capital to do that. Public safety takes up 76% of our budget, and we need a dedicated funding source so that way it doesn't, we don't have to make cuts in our public safety system. So those are the main things, along with tort reform. We are in the process of, because we have the county juvenile system, the state passed a law 2 years ago that took out the statute of limitation on juvenile victims in juvenile correction facilities. So far, we have over 100 lawsuits against the county. We have settled 7 of them for about $12 million. And the rate we're going, it will bankrupt us. We are a self-insured county, and we do not have the resources. We went to the state to get some tort reform, Unfortunately, the state, I don't know if there's any attorneys in the room, is run by attorneys. And tort reform, you just don't see it happen. And and we're not the only jurisdiction. We're the only jurisdiction that is willing to start working on the cases. King County's waiting, Snohomish County's waiting. All the other counties are waiting to see if they can find a golden goose somewhere. But it will become more of a challenge for this county. So anyway, those are the exciting things I got going on.
Councilmember Morel, if you, just for a moment, I believe your office mentioned to me House Bill 2442 related to flood control zone districts. And that piece of language that is been added in there, that if we don't use that money, that the county can take it and use it for flood. I
Yeah.
have concerns about that.
We do too, but the executive is pushing that as a funding source.
Okay.
The flood control district, which I chair, has kept its rates at a minimum. And one of the challenges that we have with any water project is permitting. It takes forever to get a permit when you're trying to work in a waterway. So we've got a backlog of a lot of projects. One of the key things that the first successful project that the flood control did was the Calistoga levee. Ording, historically, every time we got floods, downtown Ording would flood. Just guaranteed like clockwork. But once we put in the Calistoga levee, they haven't flooded since. So that's a success to setback levees and levee work. Well, we're constantly trying to do levee setbacks. Sumner was the latest. If Sumner hadn't had their setback levee, the White River would have flooded their corporate park. But they were 60% done with that setback levee, and the water diverted into that setback area and potential of washing out that First Avenue bridge, which didn't happen. So we have plenty of projects to do. The problem is it just takes forever. So the flood control district has a very high fund balance. And what you see is individuals in government looking at things for funding. One of the challenges we do have, and I'll admit it is a challenge, is we have a lot of mobile home parks that are down in the valley that get flooded all the time. And so on this last flood that we had 3 of them flood out. And we spent about $500,000 relocating and cleaning them up. So what is now happened is they've included the ability for the county to, in the rate structure, to pay for social programs that are flooded related, and that is relocation of mobile home parks, buying out mobile home parks, things like that. So it is something that the flood control district was totally unaware of. And we found out about it. And to be honest with you, we're not getting any answers from anyone, but yet the language still marches forward.
Right.
So.
The bill
Yep.
is being heard on Thursday at Senate Ways and Means, so
Yep.
I've reached out and then we immediately contacted staff. We are pulling those dollars out of there to make sure that they aren't scraped by the county to use for other stuff. So, because we obviously have needs.
Yeah, because right now we pay 10% or 10 cents per thousand of assessed valuation. We have the capacity to go to 50 cents. We've kept it low just because the fact that we have a backlog of projects already committed, but yet the funding can't go out because we don't have the permits for anything. So it's just a struggle. And like I say, they see that capacity that is in there and go, wow, we could use that capacity for other stuff. So yeah, always a challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So moving on to council member comments and good of the order.
Public comments?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, go ahead. Look to my list, Megan. Here.
Hagan Roads, unincorporated Pierce. I am just going to say really quickly towards the hometown market. You know, one of the things that we all talk about in this community is that there's been a lot of growth. Growth is inevitable, but we also recognize that one of the things we love about this community is the small town feel. And one of the things that brings that is things like the hometown market. So just that quick comment. But what I really wanted to talk to you about is just bringing to the forefront for you guys. I had several conversations with Courtney, with Murray's Disposal, and with Pierce County Waste. Murray's Disposal does not provide scaled fees if people are low income or on fixed income. So just what I did learn is that that is something that you can write into your contract with them when that contract comes back around. So I just want you to urge you to consider that, because if somebody can't afford garbage pickup and it's not cheap anymore, that is obviously they're going to choose to let that go over not feeding children or themselves. And that becomes a public health issue. So just think about, like, kind of keep that in your mind. Murray's is making plenty of money. They can afford to do that. Thank you.
Mel, please. And then I have one more. Come on up.
Hi, Mel Garland, Buckley resident. I'm just here to voice my disappointment in the city not working with the Downtown Association. You know, we have a number of a huge number of events on Main Street. I'm assuming they're all going to be canceled now because those reasons that were given to the Downtown Association are valid for all of those. And you know, and beyond that, I think that fair treatment for everybody. If we're not going to have Main Street open or closed, then it needs to be open all the time. And that's a sad thing. You know, we've been having events on Main Street ever since I've lived here. And for the city not to have a comprehensive plan of how to handle those events is really disappointing. I would think that it's a relatively easy thing to create and schedule for and get it done, but seems it's not. So I don't know. But anyway, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I am disappointed that the events on Main Street are apparently coming to an end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel.
Good evening, Council, Madam Mayor. My name is Allison Budvarson. I am a Buckley resident. I'm also a business owner. My business is located in Renton. I joined the Buckley Downtown Association just a couple of months ago to help further my desire to participate in my community. Although because my business is in another city, I don't have the opportunity to participate in economic development through my business in the town of Buckley the way I would like to. Unfortunately, it's not feasible for me to move my electronics manufacturing business to Buckley currently. There's just not the workforce to support it. So my desire to join the BDA revolved around participating in economic development for the city while maintaining our hometown charm, right? So I was really excited to begin participating in things like the cruise, the car show, the hometown market, the holiday market, all of these events. So I was disappointed when I heard about the permit denial. I just wanted to reiterate what we have heard from other members tonight and hope that the city would reconsider working with the BDA to resolve some of the issues for the denial. Thank you.
Thank you. Allison, if you could do us a favor and spell your last name, because I don't have it here on the sign-in sheet, that would be helpful.
Sure. It's Budvarson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? I see a hand. Come on up.
Just go through the whole BDA.
I am Crystal Smith. I am a Buckley resident and I also run a business, but I do mortgages, so I can do them anywhere. But I work out of my house. I'm also a BDA board member, so I am this year's secretary, and last year was just a general board member. I am talking on behalf of that last month. I just wanted to kind of let everybody know, last month we sat down with the city and the chamber and went over the calendar of events. So everybody was aware of everything that was on the calendar for this year. So, and printing of schedules and calendars and all that have started. So it's when you get a denial for a permit that you already thought was on the calendar, makes it really hard to plan and to coordinate things or to backtrack after we thought we were all on the same page. So, and then also we had fire station and police vehicles and people that parked their vehicles down during hometown market last year as well. So they also participated in it. So that was just another thing that thought I'd bring up. So thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Anyone else? Okay, moving on to, Councilmember Smith.
No, we're not there yet.
Okay. So I will formally say we are at council member comments and good of the order and call on Councilmember Smith.
Question, and before my question, the permitting process lies with the city administration. It has nothing to do with the council. This is a executive issue, city administration issue process. My question is, Tuesdays is a work day. What month does the hometown market start?
July.
When does it end?
End of August.
6 Tuesdays, I believe is the answer.
Okay, so that would not affect pickup from the school at 2 o'clock. Okay, that clears that up. Moving on to the Pierce County sales tax, I heard Pierce County Councilmember Morrell talk about the need for that. None of that will go to Pierce County deputies. I do agree that the Pierce County Jail is decrepit. It's been decrepit for a very, very, very long time. Raymond Hall, I don't know why they even put $1 in there because they don't book any kids. These kids can get away with murder in the state. Unless you kill somebody, you're not going to the Raymond Hall. But if it's decrepit, then it's decrepit. I mean, I get it. But none of this money is going to hire or to pay for a proper, fair, and equitable contract for Pierce County deputies. And you saw it today in Gig Harbor. There was a horrific crime scene. And over there at Key Peninsula, you're lucky if you have 2 deputies on duty due to the lack of staffing of the Pierce County Sheriff's Office that comes straight from the executive's office. So yes, the Pierce County Jail, yeah, they still put people in there. There are people that need to be in there. Raymond Hall. Yep. I don't know, it's just because they use, I guess, whatever kid in there, they don't want to get them an occupational or an illness because of the poor design or whatnot. So that's it.
Anybody else have comments? No others from, yes, Councilmember Burbank.
So after, all I'm going to say is I am completely disappointed that city administrator denied the permit for the hometown market. I am absolutely baffled by that decision. And some of the things that have been said about why I call BS on. So I don't understand how we can close the road for other things, but we can't do it for the hometown market. I didn't make that decision. Council doesn't, but I want people to know that I think it's bull crap. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Councilmember Green would like to speak.
Okay. Go ahead, Councilmember.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so the hometown market last year was like insanely successful on Main Street. I don't know why we would not continue that. I would ask the city to reconsider that decision and work with the applicants and figure something out here because people absolutely love it. I think that it's grown so much and being on Main Street has just been such a benefit for that program. So strongly urge you to reconsider.
Thank you, Councilmember Green. Anyone else? Okay. At this point, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
I
Motion carries.